President Buhari has vowed that his administration's social security scheme will continue and there is no going back on the welfare program. Tonight, we take on one of the presidential hopefuls in the APC. Plus, we discuss the plans of the youth in the party to take charge as the party hinges closer to a national convention. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Abuja. It's 4 days now since the National Assembly re-amended, passed, and again transmitted the electoral bill to President Buhari for his assent. This comes after he has first rejected it, but the president told Channels Television in an exclusive interview that he will sign the bill should the National Assembly fix all the gray areas he pointed out to them. And so the nation now awaits the president's assent and are hoping that it will keep to its promises of signing the bill. Let's take you to Lagos, where the All Progressives Congress APC has been reacting and in fact rejected the offer that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos should join the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP. The APC has won the main opposition party in the state to desist from offering its governorship ticket to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. The ruling party in a statement today described as laughable the PDP's attempt at offering its, quote, worthless electoral tickets every passerby, end of quote. Before you get to meet my guest tonight on the program, let me allow you to see some of your political roundup stories.
The remains of former head of interim national government Chief Ernest Shonekan has been laid to rest at a private cemetery in Lagos. This followed a funeral service held in his honor earlier in the day at the Cathedral Church of Christ in Marina, with top dignitaries including the nation's #2 citizen, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, in attendance. Present at the event were former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, who paid glowing tribute to Chief Shonekan for his contributions to the country's unity.
Let us all thank him for the service he rendered to this nation over the period.
Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State has imposed a monthly performance rating and evaluation on all political appointees to enable his administration finish strong, and whoever is found wanting will be sacked. Governor Ortom handed down the warning at the first State Executive Council meeting after he reconstituted his cabinet last week following the sacking of some commissioners and special advisors to pave way for fresh hands. He warned that any appointee who fails to meet the new approach to governance will face the consequences, as there is little time left to make a difference in order not to go down in history as a poor administration which he led.
So for everyone standing with me, please, you must sit up.
Encouraging and including more young people in governance and political leadership have been identified as key to promoting inclusiveness and grooming future leaders of the country. This is according to the Northwest Zonal Youth Leader of the All Progressives Congress, Abubakar Fakai, who made the assertion at a zonal youth sensitization meeting of the party held in Kaduna State.
No matter how good you are, if you didn't show interest, nobody will bring you in. I encourage my team in you.
Kano and its huge population have had its fair share of fire outbreaks in the state, with a record of about 500 fire incidents in 2021. This is according to Saminat Abdullahi, the Public Relations Officer for the Kano State Fire Service. It's in line with this prevalence of fire outbreaks in Kano, especially during the Harmattan period, that the Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje heartily received a donation of 2 fire tankers and an ambulance at the government house. The Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, has flagged off the distribution of 100 taxis as well as 10 41-seater buses for town services. During the symbolic distribution at the Ramat Square in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, the governor says his administration has the political will to ease the transportation challenges faced by many in the state capital.
Thank you so much, everyone. And there you go with your political roundup stories. Let's tell you that the National Assembly is hoping to harmonize all the alterations to the 1999 Constitution and transmit the same to the state houses of assembly by the end of February for their votes. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, who doubles as the co-chair of the National Assembly Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution, stated these at a retreat in Abuja. According to the lawmakers, there are over 55 bills and memos from public hearings that the legislators need to consider before transmitting the same to the state for their inputs.
It's important to clearly state that our task in this retreat will not be a simple one. Our consultants have analyzed submissions from public hearings and memos submitted by the public, harmonized and recommended over 55 bills across the various advertised thematic areas of the amendment exercise. I am aware that we have independently reviewed the consultants' reports and recommendations by way of recouching, making additional provisions, rejecting and even introducing entirely new bills on account of various advocacies and agitations on some issues of overriding national concern. I'm sure we're committed to completing this phase of the work within the timeline. Finally, as we critically consider the bills in the working document before us, in which the Secretariat has provided both the Senate and the House versions, let our debate, opinions, and decisions on the amendment and the clauses be guided by what is best for our people and what is in the national interest.
As the Deputy Senate President, Ovie Omar Gege, let's tell you that President Buhari is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and is insisting that his government will not stop creating or providing welfare packages to its citizens, especially the poor population. The president said, quote, "The government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria remains committed to providing social safety nets for the poor and most vulnerable in our society, while also taking advantage of the huge opportunities offered by the information and technology sector." End of quote. President Buhari insists that the poor and vulnerable in Nigeria remain top priority for protection and lifting from the poverty cycle, assuring that social safety net will be further sustained while access to education and opportunities will be expanded. He was speaking at a virtual official presentation of the country review report of Nigeria to the 31st Africa Peer Review Forum of the African Union. Tonight, we engage yet another presidential hopeful, one person seeking the nation's #1 job, that is the presidency in 2023. My guest tonight is a two-term governor of Abia State from May 1999 to 2007. And currently is in the National Assembly as a senator representing Abia North in the Senate. Senator Uzor-Kalu is one of the foundation members of the PDP, where he dumped the party to join the PPA and eventually joined the APC, where he contested and won the senatorial seat. The Senate whip is eyeing the presidential seat, and tonight we hope to engage him on the real reasons he wants the job. Senate Whip, thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight. And let's begin the conversation straight away from your presidential ambition. I know there's a lot of people talking about it. You have also been talking about it. Your ambition for 2023 presidency, what are you bringing to the table?
Thank you, Sean, for having me. What I'm going to be getting on table will be the stability of the country, the rebranding of the country, and giving Nigerian people that confidence they are Nigerians, and giving them the motivation to move forward. Nigeria, to me, is like a football team. I have done it in the past with the Enyimba Football Club, and I can do it in the future
because what every aspect of this country needs is just motivation. The cameraman and woman working with you there needs motivation. And even you, Shaw, you need motivation. And the whole business is about motivating the team. It's just like the Nigerian team you watched in the AFCON. The team were very good, individually good, but they were not a team. And the coach did not recognize they were not a team. I know the faults and I know the ups and downs of Nigeria, and I can make Nigeria to be a very big team and a big player in the world affairs. Because when you look at my face, you see the face of Nigeria, and you see the objectivity of the world, where leaders of the world will rally around Nigeria, because I know the world. That is the major thing I will bring on the table.
So the question here is, if you're saying that you know Nigeria and you know just how to get a job done, what in your view is the major problem or the challenge that this nation confronts today? And you said you know the team and motivation. Yes, that sounds a bit philosophical. Practically speaking, how would you solve the problem?
It's a simple thing. The most important thing I will tackle, if you make me president tomorrow, is bandits and terrorism. After that, I will go to reassess the issues of the electricity with the commercialization of the electricity. Then I give back Nigerian people confidence so they can be able to play in the world. They can be Nigerians anywhere. They can be Nigerian. Nigerian will be a Nigerian in America, in Canada, in Kenya, in anywhere he goes. He will be proud that he's carrying a green passport. I will reconnect Nigeria and Nigerians to the world, where they will be proudly say, I'm a Nigerian. And that is things that we have. The Nigerian people can move from Sahara Desert to Atlantic Ocean. Nobody will molest them. I did it in Abia when I was governor. There were criminal cases when I was in Abia, and I handled the issue. Within 2 years, it vanished. I created the Bakassi in Abia, and when I finished with Abia, I went to help Anambra State. I cleared up Onitsha, I cleared up Nnewi, and everywhere became very calm. My colleagues who I was governor with can testify to this. They know what I did, and it was a miracle. And it could be repeated here in Nigeria, because I understand Nigeria, because I know Nigeria. I'm not saying it to this. I said this to some of our late elders. I said this to Meso recipes, Dr. Elise Kweme, and some of them. I told them, I said, I understand this country better than most of our leaders. And that is the truth, Sean. I understand this country because I have the Kanuri brain, I have the Fulani brain, I have the Yoruba brain, I have the Efik brain, I have everything. I know everybody by community, by homes. I know the Yoruba brain. I know everybody. So Nigeria required a Nigeria
and you imagine,
who will play to be a Nigeria.
Yeah, Senator, you imagine that that's all you need, or that is what it entails to lead a country like Nigeria?
No. It needs my power of intellect, which I have. I've just told you things I would do. I'm not telling you I'm going to build roads or do that. I say I will return Nigeria from, like, you can see that returning Nigeria from terrorism is a hard job. And building the economy, the next most important thing is where the banker will be happy, where the industrialists will be happy, where the school girl and school man and teachers and everybody will be happy. And the Labour
How
Congress
soon,
will be happy.
Senator,
I
do
ran
you
a
think
state
that you
for
can
8
achieve
years.
what you said
I
you
did
can
not
do?
have any
This
labor
issue of
unrest.
terrorism and banditry. How soon do you think that can be done? That can be fixed. For example, if you were sworn in, if you were elected and sworn in as president on May 2023.
Listen, Sean, if I'm given the opportunity to run the affairs of our thing, it's going to be a team firm. I will be looking at between 14 months to 24 months, Nigerians will have back their country to themselves.
Let me look at it from this point of view and your fitness for office. First and foremost, you've been meeting, you've been making consultations. These are images of you meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. Let me ask you, as the president giving his endorsement, as he giving his blessings for you, for your ambition to become president?
I have not even discussed with the president I want to run for president. The last time I met President Buhari, I was able to discuss the issue that concerns the nation, terrorism, bandits, and how to stabilize our country, and other major issues in the National Assembly, like the electoral law.
So when you met with the president, the issue of your ambition didn't come to the table at all. And are you hoping that
No,
maybe make a return to
because
tell him that you want to run for president?
listen, he's the president of Nigeria. And I told you that the party is supreme. I am waiting for the party to say they are zoning the president to the south and veer to southeast and veer to Ibere in my Bende local government. Then I can come out. I'll draw the dagger.
Do you have... So when you say you want to draw the dagger, are you confident that your party will zone it to the southeast region?
But let them zone it for the south first. The preparatory issue to go to south, I will draw the dagger.
I mean, if your party zones it to the south, you'll be facing the likes of Vice President Oshibajo, Bola Tinubu. Interestingly, you met Bola Tinubu in your home. You had a meeting with him. And part of what we understand, perhaps were discussed at that meeting, was Bola Tinubu's ambition. Did you tell him that you are also interested in becoming president?
Well, let me tell you, I've told you before that I told Tinubu that I was not going to run. That is the truth. And I told him I wasn't going to run. It was circumstance from south, east, southwest, northwest, north central, and northeast that made me to decided to join the race.
So
I'm a
what
child
are
of
you saying in
circumstance,
essence?
Sean.
That are you... Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing
In
you all the
essence,
time.
what are you... Yeah, what are you saying in essence? That you did not inform him at first, but it does look like you have changed your mind. So if you're up against the likes of Bola Tinubu, how difficult will that be for you at the primaries?
No, I was governor with him, and I'm not going to. There's nothing difficult in challenging anybody. We're all going to meet in Eagle Square, and we square it out there. There's no difficulty. We're all friends.
Whether or not you have the political might or even the wherewithal, financial might, to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Bola Tinubu and some others whose name have been thrown up in this race is a big question here. Do you have what it takes politically,
Listen,
financially,
Sean,
structure-wise?
I'm the only political businessman that Forbes recognized as a billionaire. And I'm not sure there's anything those people can do in terms of money, I cannot do. And I don't think anything they can speak to anybody in Nigeria or in the world. I cannot speak to. I can go to anybody in the world. I can go to any person to meet anybody and discuss my issue. Mind you, politics is not only about money. It's going to be about the people you are going to govern. The people will decide. Money is just a secondary issue. The primary issue that we are going to be talking about is the people. The people of Northwest, the people of Northeast, the people of North Central, the people of Southeast, and the people of Southwest, and the people of South-South. And we have the people. I can move the people. The people are with me. Money is not going to be a problem, I want to assure you. I was governor at the same year with Bola Tinubu. We were the governor the same year in 1999. Every Obani knows himself.
So Bola Tinubu is not a threat to your own ambition?
No, and I'm not a threat to his ambition. By the time we meet in Eagle Square, this issue will be settled.
Let me let's get clarity on a few issues and perhaps your fitness for office. You have consistently been under the radar of the EFCC over allegations of corruption. For someone seeking the highest office in the land, how do you think this plays out in the mind of an average Nigerian?
The average Nigerians know that I have committed no offense. There were 19 witnesses in court, and nobody mentioned my name. And somebody pays somebody, which I'm sure you are part of that business. Somebody pays somebody to put me in jail for 6 months. And I thank God I went. It was a glorious thing. That's the best thing God have ever done to me. To be able to put me to the lowest end of the world and showing me that I've been a child born with a golden spoon and showing me the lowest end of our society. God wanted me. Mind you, I was supposed to be in Wuhan on the 9th of December, and I was supposed to be in Wuhan. And the people put me in jail on the 5th of December. It's to the glory of God. I thank God. And I'm not going to discuss that matter with you again because this matter is still in the court of competent jurisdiction. And I am capable of fighting. I'm not guilty. I'm as free as anything, as said by the Supreme Court.
Well, you've blamed your corruption prosecution on your adversaries. Let me remind you of some of the things that you have said to me in my past engagement with you and past interview on China's television, and what you said on the issues of corruption. This is one of those interviews. This one was way back in 2017. Take a listen to it.
At all. I boldly say it, and all intelligence agencies in the world advise President Obasanjo that I'm not a thief. I don't know why I went to EFCC. So I leave it for the judiciary.
That is one in 2017. You blame former President Obasanjo for your prosecution. This is another one in 2018. Take a listen to it. When you move into the APC, they believe that when you move into the APC, you suddenly become a saint. You're no longer a sinner or a fraudulent person.
No. I've never been one. It was President Obasanjo who made me to be one. And I've never been one. I went to Abia to serve my people with all amount of sincerity and purpose. Even the PDP, President Obasanjo run as president. You know that if it's a company, I myself and few others will own 90% of it. I gave them the first 500 million in 1998, and I gave him the first 100 million to stand as a candidate in 1998. So calling for those who came into power with 20,000 naira, who are having mansions today, who are having all kinds of things today, who are billionaires today, I mean, it's unacceptable.
That was also in 2018. If you blame former President Obasanjo for your travails, and it's now under the Buhari government that you were sent to jail, Isn't that interesting? How do you explain that? The man you blame is gone as he's no longer president, but you were still under the APC, under the Buhari government.
Presidential candidates and the same man I blame. Let me tell you, Obasanjo wrote to Tony Blair. Tony Blair accepted me. He wrote to President Bush, and President Bush told him I wasn't corrupt. And I'm not corrupt. That is the truth. I paid for everything PDP did. If it's a company, I own 90% of the PDP. How can a man in 1998 who gave all those money will today be a thief? Is it possible? I was running the largest shipping company in sub-Saharan Africa. I run the largest banks in sub-Saharan Africa. I run the largest mining company in sub-Saharan Africa. How can I become thief suddenly? It's a planted thing, so we should have a common sense. Stop being this thing, have a common sense. Don't just be a journalist, be a businessman like me. Be a money maker like me. You should have a common sense to know
It's a common
people,
sense to
the
ask
whole
you.
problem is that these people don't want
Senator,
me to be
it's
president.
a common sense to ask you a common question about how you are perceived.
No, you have
and the
not
issues
asked
that
me a
went to
common
court,
question. You
and
called me
perhaps
a
the issue
common question that is in
took
the
you
court of
to the
competent
jail in the
jurisdiction.
first place. But let me ask you this one straight away. You've said previously that you were rich before you became Abia State governor. But can you tell Nigerians tonight how much you were worth at the time? Give Nigerians some ideas of your source of wealth and why they should believe you that it wasn't from Abia State coffers that you got those monies. How much were you worth
Shall we
before
just
you became
play what
Abia
I
State
discussed
governor?
with you? That in 1998, I said that I said that I gave money to the PDP as a party, and I gave money to President Obasanjo as a candidate. So will I be a poor man to be doing that in 1998?
How much were you worth?
Is it
That's the
possible?
question. I mean, it sounds like a common question, but it's a critical question.
I cannot tell you
and
my
Nigerians need
net
to know
worth.
how
I
much were you
cannot tell
worth
you
at
my
the time.
net worth.
And I'm very sure that before
You're
you
a
get into
journalist,
public office
you can
these days,
verify my
you
net
have to
worth.
declare your assets.
Forbes
so if
have already
Nigerians
in
know how much you're worth,
2014
they may be able to have
told
an
you that I'm
idea
a billionaire
of
in dollars.
whether or not Abia State was part of the wealth that you presently have.
No, it cannot be. It's not possible. Sean, I started building factories in 1986. The slug vegetable oil factory, all the factory I have were built in 1986. Mind you, I was chairman of Cooperative and Commerce Bank at the age of 27 years. I was chairman of Burundi Water Board at the age of 28 years. I was in Unipetrol when it was Unipetrol as a director. And I started business. I made my own money as a common man from 0 point to bigger point. From selling common palm oil and fish, from making furniture, from making cables, from making vegetable oil, and making everything utensils to use in the houses. When you go to a nature market, 50% of the commodity you see there are my products. 50% you see in Aba market are my products. That is the popularity I have tomorrow, Sean. And my net worth, I cannot tell you my net worth because you were there. I've been rated by many agencies. I cannot tell you my net worth.
So we are due for a break in about a few seconds. But let me ask you, pointedly also, at this point, that if you give us all of these ideas about what President Obasanjo did to you, allegedly, but have you been able to find out why that happened to you? Why, if you think that President Obasanjo is after you or is behind your travails, as you have always said, why? What did you do to him that caused your travails, if it's true?
Well, what I did to him is very simple. I was the one who told President Mandela, may he so rest in peace, that he was looking for third term. I was the one who told President Bush Jr., that he was looking for third term. I was the only one who advised him among the governors face to face. Vice President Atiku Abubakar is alive. I was the only one who looked at his face in a meeting and said, you cannot do third term. That this country is bigger than any country you want to rule. That this is not a banana republic. And you know that man is unforgiving. And I don't want to talk about him because I've forgiven him. I'm a committed Christian. I've forgiven him, and that forgiveness stands. What he has done to me, they have done to me. People who are running for president, people who want to be president, they put me in prison to the glory of God, and Nigerian people should thank them because I'm better off today being there. I lost nothing. I went there to learn. It was a learning institution, and every politician and every civil servant need to go there and learn. They will have another perspective of life.
All right, let's take a breather. But when we come back, we still have a few things to get from you tonight on your ambition, the issue of zoning, the issue or the internal affairs of your party. And after our conversation with you tonight, Senator, we will be having Rinsola Abiola, one of the members of the APC youth, and they have something of their sleeves. They say they want to take the party by storm ahead of 2023 presidential election. Stay with us, everyone. More to come right here on Politics Today. Thank you so much, everyone. Our concluding moments with the former governor of Abia State and the senator representing Abia North, the chief whip of the Senate, Senator Uzor-Kalu. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time tonight. It's interesting that years ago, we've had this conversation about, and your thought on whether or not the Igbos deserve to have the presidency. And you've always maintained that in the politics of this country, they do deserve it. Well, let me ask you, if you were made president today, how would you handle the IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu matter?
Well, we are not yet there because the issue is before a court, and it will be improper for me to be discussing IPOB here now.
But, I mean, if you are presented with the opportunity or the option of a political solution or an out-of-court remedy or solution, would you take it?
Well, I don't know what you mean by out-of-court settlements, and I told you I'm not going to commit anything about that issue because it's before a court of competent jurisdiction. Sean, I don't want somebody to issue a court order for me to come here tomorrow to arrest me. I think I've gone for prison for 6 months. Allow me to rest as I'm resting. Or you want the judge tomorrow to issue a summons and say that I've committed an offense. Please give me this breathing space that I'm enjoying with Nigerian people and having time to go and campaign.
As a leader in the Southeast region, how do you hope that is best or the best ways to handle the issue of the agitations with IPOB or the agitation in the Southeast?
I told you I'm not going to discuss that issue. And I'm not going to discuss it because I'm involved. Because I'm involved. And I will not discuss it. I have done a lot of discussion with President Mohamed Buhari. I've done a lot of discussion with the parents of Nnamdi Kanu and his brothers. And you realize before, when it was also like that, I was a party to solving the problem. So now it's in the court. And you cannot allow Justice Binta Nyako to issue a summons to me tomorrow. I'm not going to allow you to drag me to that mess. I'm doing a background job to that.
I'm just trying to get your view on how best it is to resolve the matter. But let's move away from that since you're not comfortable.
And I'm telling you, I'm not going to discuss that with you.
Let's go into the issue of your party internal affairs. You have
it's part of what I discussed with President Mohamed Buhari.
Preferred that the party go for a convention and a primary at the same time. You don't look comfortable with the issue of the February convention. Have you spoken with Governor Buni on this? And do you see some kind of disaster waiting in the wings for the party should they go ahead?
Well, I have not spoken to Governor Buni. I wrote a letter to the party last year and asking them not to continue with the convention on 26. Let us have the both convention and the presidential nomination on the same time, the same day. But they seem to want to continue to go for the convention on 26th. Party is supreme. I'm a loyal party member. Whatever the party says is what we will do. And the party is supreme. And the supremacy of the party is what matters.
On a final note tonight, Your Excellency, I'd like to know, with what is going on, if you look at what the People's Democratic Party, it does look like they've thrown open the issue of rotation and zoning of the presidency in their party. In your party, it's not also clear where the party is headed. But for those who are agitating that the Southeast should have it, what's your view on this matter? And if it doesn't go to the Southeast, what would you do?
Well, my view that other regions should see reason with Southeast. And if it doesn't go to Southeast, the other regions should see reasons with us and see that it will be a godly thing to do. But if I've always told you, Sean, that there are two zones that have not participated in the presidency. I know about Southeast, which is so dear to my heart. And I also know about Northwest, Northeast, which is also dear to my heart because I'm from Meduguri. It's my second home. So, for me, the Igbos should take the first right and the other people should come second. But if the party made it open,
all right,
we don't have the numbers in the Southeast. I can tell you, but the party must zone this presidency to Southeast to be able to protect the weak. On this, we are weak. In money making, we might be very strong. But in numbers to make ourselves the president of Nigeria, we are weak. Other Nigerians should look. This thing happened in 1999. They zoned everything to the Southwest. I was watching you with Sule Lamido when Sule Lamido said that this thing was done by federal government. Bandits that is happening now, they're caused by my village people. They're also government business. June 12th was government business. These bandits are terrorism. IPOB is the same government and all the rest of them. Everything that happens to a country is about government. It's reforms about the government. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's for the government or against the government, everything reports is for the interest of the government. So I see that our other people should be able to make at least Igbo president of a president of Igbo extraction from Igbo land. I mean, this is Nigeria. There's no, Igbo is not a republic. So there's nothing like Igbo president.
all right.
There's a president of Nigeria from Igbo, and it is possible if the country put the hammer on.
All right. So, Your Excellency, Senator Uzor-Kalu, we will have to leave it at this moment. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight, and I wish you the very best in pursuing your ambition to becoming Nigeria's president. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Will you like to have me again, show? Or are we quarreling? Because I've told you are part of those that put me in prison. You are part of those that put me in prison.
I never participated. I never participated
you
in
participated.
putting you in prison.
You must come to United Nations and answer for yourself.
No, that won't happen.
Thank you very
so
much. I enjoyed being
I will
with
see
you.
how we can have you back sometimes. Thank you so much. Well, let's get into some other issues pertaining to the APC, of course. The party Convention Planning Committee has presented certificates of return to the chairman-elect of the party in the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. But one thing happened. Two of the chairman-elects were absent at the inauguration, which took place at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja, where the party failed to inaugurate Aruna Danzago, the chairman of the Senator Ibrahim Shekaru-led faction in Kano State, despite a court judgment. The party also did not inaugurate a chairman for its Sokoto State chapter. Meanwhile, there was some sort of tension at the party's National Secretariat, just as Governor Buni was about approaching the Secretariat to gain entrance, and some commotion was captured on camera, but heavily armed policemen are seen on guard to ward off any possible disturbances around the party secretariat. Now, some youths in the party are making efforts to get heard and adequately represented. They have begun moves to stamp their presence in the politics of the APC. Some of them are staging some sensitization campaigns ahead of the 2023 elections. We understand that the Southwest arm of the youth of the APC will be storming Ibadan in Oyo State. Tonight, we have one of the leaders of the group, Rinsola Abiola. He joins us from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much, Ms. Abiola, for your time tonight. Give us a sense of what this means. The last time we had a conversation was the fact that the youth in the APC, especially those of your friends that you are coming together, that you want your voices to be heard, you want a prominence ahead of 2023. But you're planning this campaign, a sensitization. What does this mean? A rally of some sort. What are you up to?
Okay, essentially, we understand that to attain our collective goals, introduce a new kind of politics that will, create a level playing field for young people within the political space, we need to also have young people who are outside the political system on board. So tomorrow's program is not a rally, it's not a political event per se. Yes, it's been organized by young people within the Southwest for the Southwest and Kwara states, but it is a youth festival. We're trying to leverage on entertainment to sensitize young people. We're going to be empowering young people who come. There's a raffle draw of 10 million naira that we're going to have a lot of beneficiaries from. We're also organizing a youth trade fair, for economic empowerment, because we're looking at over 30,000 young people who will be present at Liberty Stadium tomorrow. And then, of course, it's about organizing to take power essentially, to ensure greater youth mainstreaming in leadership positions, not just at the elections now, but we're also looking at within the party system. We have our convention coming up later this month, and we have quite a number of young people who are interested in vying for leadership positions within the party. So we're just working to ensure that both within the party system and at the polls next year, we have more young people emerging, and even those who are not within the party, who are not partisan, who are not card-carrying members of the party, also become progressive young people in their own capacity to be able to choose to support young people who are contesting for office.
There is a sense that this is creating, that perhaps your party is not giving the needed atmosphere for young people to thrive. Is that the situation?
Well, the one thing I will say is that in politics, nobody is ever entirely happy. If you speak to the women, they have a list of complaints. You speak to the young people, they have a list of complaints. You speak to older politicians, they also have a list of complaints. But what we are doing as young people is not just sitting by and reeling out all of these complaints. We're standing up, we're taking charge of our political future. We're saying these are the things that we want to happen, and we are organizing effectively around the changes that we want to see. So as far as we're concerned, we are done complaining. We're in the field, we're showing that we can do the needful, we can get things done, we can introduce a different kind of politics. It's young people stepping up to take charge. It's young people saying we've been at the back seats for long enough. It's young people saying we're in the driver's seat now, and we're getting others like us to support what we're doing. So the party system, our democracy is evolving. And this democracy was hard fought. We were able to get this democracy in the first place because we had people who would not relent on their efforts to make it a dream come true. And as far as we're concerned as young people, we are also playing our role to make sure that this democracy works for everybody and that it works for us. This is about a youth agenda. We're setting a youth agenda. We're saying we have everything that it takes to define the key issues that will usher in the next president of this country. We're saying young people should be in the driver's seat. Young people should be the ones making the decisions of who will get to lead us. Young people should be able to hold our leaders accountable, because at the end of the day, the decisions that are made affect us a lot more than any other group in this country. So it is us saying we're taking charge, we're getting into leadership, both within the party and at the polls, and we're reaching out to young people across the country to come on board with us, because this is a collective fight, and we all have to work together.
So the big question here is, with all of the activities that you're putting together, are you getting the attention of those who will possibly relinquish these opportunities or the positions or the opportunity, I mean, the leadership position that you're seeking for?
Okay, so last week in Lagos, we had a meeting with young stakeholders within the party system, young aspirants, our counterparts in the business world, and it was all about organizing effectively, making sure that our voices are heard, that our demands are met. Tomorrow's program is the first of its kind in our history, in our democracy. It's young people staging this entirely. It's entirely self-funded. We haven't reached out to anybody to fund us. It's us saying we can do this thing, we can get things done. Our leaders are paying attention, our leaders are taking note. Our leaders know that we are ready to step into these shoes and we are willing to do the needful. We have the capacity to get it done. The level of organization that I have seen working with this committee has been mind-blowing. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. It's a group of young people coming together across the country, getting things done. This effort has been spearheaded by the Office of the National Youth Leader. So while we're organizing this festival in the Southwest, in Ibadan tomorrow, we also have other activities coming up in other parts of the country. So it's going to be a whole lot of activities going into 2023. We're not going to be quiet. These are young people saying we're doing things differently. We will muster the resources that we need. The edge that established politicians have always had over young people is finances. And we're saying, you know what, we have what it takes. We will support each other. We will do what needs to be done. Our voices will be heard. And we want to occupy leadership positions within the party. Not from an angle of saying, let the older people take a backseat. But no, we're working together as partners in progress. Young people need to be able to take their rightful place in the scheme of things. And that's what we're ready to do now.
So let me get it clearly, so that your group's agenda can be clear to the minds of perhaps your leaders and the Nigerians who are watching tonight. Is it that you want a youthful president or a young president? Is that part of your demand?
The question, to the best of my knowledge, is not really about the age of the person. It's about the youth agenda. We have come together to define a youth agenda. And whoever is going to lead us has to be somebody that will be committed to executing that agenda, because we have every intention to hold that person accountable. Nigerian youth make up the bulk of not just
what is the youth agenda?
but also the voting population.
So what's the youth agenda? Apologies.
2019,
what is
young
the youth
people made
agenda?
up about 51% of the voter register. And 2023, with the ongoing CVR exercise, it's still young people registering in large numbers. So those numbers have to count for something. Nobody is going to win a presidential election in this country without the support of young people. And that is why the youth agenda has to be the most important thing for anybody who is going to lead us to be held accountable to.
So in essence, it's not as if you want a certain roles in the national leadership, or you want certain quota for youth in the National Assembly or State Assembly, or you want a president, a candidate of your party that has the agenda of the youth in mind. That's your ultimate agenda, isn't it?
We have an agenda concerning the presidency. It has to be somebody who will work on that youth agenda, execute it. At the same time, we're also looking at leadership positions within the party structure. I mentioned the upcoming convention earlier at the end of this month. We have a number of young people who are aspiring to offices within the leadership of the party, whom we are backing, whom we are supporting, and we are lobbying to ensure that more young people emerge in the leadership of the party. Also, going into the 2023 elections, we're also working to ensure that more young people emerge as candidates and that they get the support that they need. I made reference to a meeting that we held last week with young aspirants and a couple of other young stakeholders within the party. So we're working on all of these things. These goals are not mutually exclusive. We can work on having a precedent that will be bound by a youth agenda. The same way we can work on ensuring that more young people get into the National Assembly and into other elective positions. The same way we can work on ensuring that more young people get into the leadership of the party. And these are all the things that we're working on at the same time.
All right, that's great. So on the final note, Rinsala, what would be the take-home for a lot of Nigerians who are watching now? Because your party has been in power for the last 6-7 years now. So the confidence that you're trying to get from Nigerians is that they need to come out and vote for your party again. Why should they?
Because at the end of the day, if you're going to make change happen, you can only do it through a mainstream system. For those of us who have been in the political system for long enough, we know this. Some of us have also been on smaller political platforms. The numbers speak for themselves. Look at the number of people who were elected on smaller platforms compared with the number of people who were elected on mainstream platforms. Mainstream political parties have the structure, they have the reach, they have the resources to occupy most elective positions when it comes to elections. This is why young people need to come in large numbers. A lot of us worked on this at the last party registration exercise. We were able to get more young people to register due to the efforts of the National Lobby Group and the Office of the National Youth Leader. We've also been able to get more young people emerge as leaders within state, ward, and local government structures in our state. And now we're pushing for better representation at the national level and at the polls next year. So this remains the most viable platform for young people to drive change. We are not divorced from the reality. We understand the concerns of the people of our generation. What we are fighting for is the same thing that other young Nigerians want, and we are pushing for it from within the political system. And we also need young Nigerians who may not be members of the party to take up their responsibilities by showing up at the polls on election day. Register for your PVC if you haven't already and ensure that you pick it up. It goes beyond just something to use as an ID card when you need to go to the bank. It is something with which you exercise your franchise. So please come out and vote and be progressive, even if you're only going to do it through the ballot.
Insola Abiola, member of the APC lobby group and also a youth, member of the youth wing of the APC. Thank you so much, Insola, for your time
tonight. Thank you for having me.
And I wish you the very best. But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Okimalo. I'll see you on Sunday at 8 p.m. Bye for now.